From watching the Merrick Garland testimony today, the question that I have, that many have, is did Merrick Garland commit perjury? And very importantly, did he commit contempt of Congress, or were his attempts to back pedal and remain obfuscating? Was that in essence contempt of Congress, like Peter Navarro, like Bannon and others? That's the question. Let's talk about this. Let's go through what exactly were the charges. What is perjury per se? How does that work? Does he have any defenses? Does he have any immunities from such? Any privileges? We'll go through all of that very, very carefully. But first, my friend, let me ask you to accept my thanks for being with us. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Please continue to do so if you haven't so far, which makes no sense. Please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel, which I already just said. And also hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And also, please take particular note of our great sponsor, My Patriot Supply, that provides for you one of the greatest deals ever. If you are looking to begin your journey into food preparation, food storage, and emergency preparation, right now, there is a deal that will not last forever. $200 off a 3-month emergency food kit, brought to you from the great people at My Patriot Supply by simply going to preparewithlionel.com. Preparewithlionel.com. The link is here. It's in the description section. It's in the comment section. And if you have by the way, a cell phone, make sure you go below so you can see this particular deal. Why is it important? Why would you want this? Why would you need emergency food? Well, my friends, if you're watching me, that means you have a degree of sapience that most people don't have. And you recognize that a recent history will show us that by virtue of weather that no one understands, by inclement weather, riots, you name the breakdown, whether a supply chain breakdown. We even had a system where gas stations all over the country in Florida weren't able to be used because of contamination of diesel, fuel, irregular fuel. Then we had malware, ransomware, could be anything. The bottom line is preparewithlionel.com is where you go, because one of these days you will be able or unable to go to stores. Stores will be closed. Food stores, where you get your food now. And most of us do not live on farms where we can't go out into the field and pick 90 days worth of food prepared as is right now. This is the best deal available. Preparewithlionel.com, preparewithlionel.com. Go right now and save $200 of a 3-month emergency food kit. And just go and look for yourself and see how professional this is. This is the creme de la creme of emergency food preparation. Preparewithlionel.com. All right, perjury. Perjury is basically lying about a material issue of fact under oath. Knowing, lying. It also can be, depending upon the situation, the giving of a prior of an inconsistent statement, knowing it to be inconsistent, knowing it to be not true, knowing it to be different. Perjury doesn't really have to be evil and with the idea of deliberately preparing or exhibiting mendacity. It can be other things as well. But what's interesting to note, and what's critical to note, is as follows. When you look at this right now, Merrick Garland basically, I don't want to say lied, because that would involve me knowing what he thinks. But if he did not deliberately lie and make statements without calling into account the fact that he had obligations that had to be stated and the like. But in any event, if he did not lie, then he's incompetent to hold office. They ask questions about Ray Epps. Now, Ray Epps, as you know, is the subject of defamation suits against Fox. People suggested he was an agent, not just an agent provocateur, not just a confidential informant, but an actual participant, which he said wasn't true. He was just charged with a misdemeanor, a rather de minimis charge at that, but nonetheless, he was charged. So they asked Merrick Garland, did you know about this? I don't know. I'm not really sure. You don't know. You don't know whether there were other agents. Now, what he should have said, I made it very clear, is that he cannot talk about this. He cannot discuss this. He's not in the position of being able to discuss this because of ongoing investigations and the like. That would have been kind of sort of cool, but that wasn't really clearly made. There were questions made as to why did you let statutes of limitations run and lapse against Hunter Biden? Why? Again, very, very hedgy, cagey, confused. This repeated statement of I never involved myself. I never interfered with David Weiss's investigation. But did you talk to him? I never interfered with it. So he talked, but didn't interfere, but didn't say he talked. He just said he didn't interfere. And when somebody repeats a statement over and over and over, technically speaking, it is the correct way to answer. But what it does is it makes people think that there's something going on that we don't know about, something going on which is duplicitous, something that is going on which is mendacious, something that is going on which may in fact be perjurious. This is the issue here. This is the fascinating issue. What does this mean? Now, a couple of times it would have been very, I think, Merrick Garland could have said, as you know, Congressman Jordan and others, I have made statements to you that if you really need to know certain aspects of our inner working, we can go to what is in essence the equivalent of a skiff room. We can have an in-camera hearing, a hearing outside of the province of the lights and the cameras. We don't want to let people know about inner proceedings and techniques and tactics, blah, blah, blah. But what it came across to everyone was that Merrick Garland isn't telling you the truth. He's not leveling with you. Now, is that perjury per se? Is not leveling with you? The technical answer is no, that's not perjury. Is he a politician? No. He isn't part of the executive branch. His job is not to inform people. His job is not to speak to the American people. I mean, theoretically, yes, but not really. He is the Attorney General. And as the Attorney General, he is not to divulge or say anything as to why they did things. In his defense, or what he could say is, let's assume there is a reason. Let's assume there was a reason why certain things appeared to be such in order to catch Russian colluders or something along the line. It could be. But the bottom line is this. Now that we've got all this technical mumbo jumbo out of the way, there are two systems of justice in this country. One for Trump and Trump acolytes, minions, and the like, and one for the Bidens. It's that simple. The Bidens get away with murder, the Trumps don't. That's simple. It doesn't work like any. It is so obvious to anybody who watches this. The Trumps get away with nothing. There is no charge. No, they were going to bring an emoluments charge against Trump. Twice impeached. I mean, nothing is too small. In the case of Ray Epps, which people could say, to think that if you saw what was provided for in terms of his actual performance during January 6th, one would think, assuming that was all there was, looking at what other folks did by virtue of their excitatory harangue and their entreaties to march to storm the Bastille, you would think, by virtue of just looking at the same testimony, that what he was doing repeatedly, one could argue, was just as grave, just as serious as others. It is, of course, within the province of the prosecutor to decide under a host of reasoning, using their discretion, what they believe to be appropriate. but I would certainly understand how somebody would think that Mr. Epps fared very well compared to what others did in terms of the severity of his particular case. Others were saying that he was charged at the last minute just so that this would bolster his defamation case, because people like Tucker Carlson were saying he wasn't charged. Who knows? I'm not a mind reader. No one's. In fact, Ray Epps is like kryptonite. Get away. Don't touch it. All I know is simply this. Ask yourself this question as an American citizen. Do you think justice is dispensed fairly? Do you believe justice is dispensed fairly? Do you? Do you think so? Do you think that Trump is treated with equal justice under the law the same way that Hunter Biden was? Do you think that Russell Brand? No. The answer is simply no. There are multiple layers of justice, and there should only be one. One layer, one level, one mode of justice for everyone. Thank you, dear friends, for watching. Thank you so much. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget right now, take advantage of this incredible deal, $200 off a 3-month emergency food kit by going to preparewithlionel.com. Preparewithlionel.com. You will be so glad you did. Thank you so much for watching, dear friends. And now I ask you to comment. Comment as you see fit. Let me try this again.